Okay, good morning class. So today we're looking at grade 10, June 2019, and this is paper 2. Okay, it was 2 hours for 75 marks. Okay, that's not normally right. 2 hours is 1.5 marks. Okay, I think we changed the time on this paper. Okay. So question 1 says that in the diagram below, D, which is negative 3 and 3, E, which is 3 and negative 5, and F, which is negative 1 and K, are 3 points in the Cartesian plane. So all that information is on the diagram. Good. Make this a bit smaller. Okay. So the first question says, calculate the length of DE. Calculate the length of DE. Okay, so in 1.1, the length of DE follows a formula, distance formula, which is x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Okay. So if we make that x1, that will be y1, x2, y2. So we got the square root of 3 minus 3 squared plus minus 5 minus 3 squared. That then gives us the square root of 6 squared plus negative 8 squared. Did it give you 10? Okay. Then the question says calculate the gradient of DE. The gradient of DE. So how do you work out gradient? It's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay? So you go minus 5 minus 3 over 3 minus 3. There's negative 8 over 6, which is negative 4 over 3. Okay. Then, let's look at the next question. We are asked to determine the equation of the line parallel to D, going through A, which is 5 and 3. So A is not on the diagram here, as you can see. But what do we know if lines are parallel? Gradients are equal. So in 1.3, we should start off by saying that the gradient of that line is going to be negative 4 over 3. So it's going through 5 and 4. So it's approximately there. Okay, so it's going to be parallel to this line. Okay. So it's joint. Through it too soon. Let's try again. So it says that's exactly that line. It's going through T. And the lines are parallel. So as you can see, it's going to have a very high y intercept. Can you see that? So you say y is equal to negative 4 over 3x plus c. We're going to substitute 5 and 4. That's an x and a y. So 4 is equal to negative 4 over 3 times 5 plus c. So c is equal to 4 plus 20 over 3. So c is going to be 32 over 3. Is that correct? 32 over 3. So therefore your equation is y is equal to negative 4 over 3x plus 32 over. Okay. So put that in here. Y is equal to negative 4 over 3x. Again, as you can see, we're populating the diagram. Okay. These diagrams are given in the exam, in your answer book. So you write it in the answer. Okay. Then he says, determine the value of k if DEF is perpendicular. So if DEF is perpendicular, what do we know? The gradient, yes, the gradient of DE times the gradient of FE is equal to minus 1. They told us it's perpendicular, so we can go with that thing. If they tell us to prove it's perpendicular, then I prove that we now multiply the two gradients is negative. Okay? So the gradient of DE we have worked out, which is negative 4 over 3, times the gradient of FE, changing y, we change x, so it's negative 5 minus k, over 3 minus minus 1. So I divide both sides by negative 4 over 3. And so it's going to be 5 minus k over 4 is equal to 3 over. As you can see, the denominators are the same. So negative k is equal to 3 plus 5, which is 8. So k is equal to negative 8. Does it make sense, people, that k could be negative 8? Yes? Definitely value less than negative 5. Okay, so yes, it makes sense. Alright, let's carry on. If k is equal to negative 8, now they have confirmed the value for k. Now say, I know some of you would have gotten a different value for k, not so. For example, in the exam you would have gotten a different value, maybe minus 6. However, you can't use your minus 6 if they give you a value for k. However, if they didn't give you, you're going to use your value, not so. So if k is equal to negative 8, determine the coordinates of M, the midpoint of DF. So DF, M is there. How do I work out the midpoint? Using midpoint formula, which is x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2. That is your M. So that gives us minus 3 plus minus 1 over 2, and then 3 plus negative 8 over 2. So that gives us negative 2 and negative 5 over 2. Okay. Good. Okay, and that's the last question. Okay. Let's carry on. Question 2, we are told, please provide reason for your statement. So you're busy with geometry now. We are told that the diagram below shows a parallelogram with angle A equals x plus 20, angle C is equal to 2x minus 60. Determine the value of C. The value of angle C there. People, what are the properties of a parallelogram? Opposite sides are equal, opposite angles are equal, opposite sides are parallel, and the diagonals bisect each other. So we're going to go with the fact that opposite angles are equal. So I've got x plus 20 is equal to 2x minus 60. Opposite angles of parallelogram equal. Okay? So solve for x, so negative x equal to negative 80, x is then equal to 80. Never answer the question. No. They want angle C. So angle C is going to be 2 times 80, which is 160. Minus 60 is going to give us 100 degrees. Okay. No reason required there. The next question in 2.2, we are told that PQRS is a kite. Well, what is the properties of a kite? Two pairs of adjacent sides are equal. Yes. One pair of opposite angles are equal. Yes. The diagonal bisect the vertex angle, so that is also 20. That is equal to that angle there. Diagonals are perpendicular. One more. One diagonal bisect the other. So those diagonals are equal. Okay. Just by them telling us that is a kite, we should see all of those things. Such that diagonals intersect at O. OS is 2 centimeters, as you can see there. OPS is 20 degrees. Write down the length of, question says, write down the length of QO. So what's the length of QO? QO is equal to 2 centimeters. Why? Because one diagonal bisect the other in a kite. So that's going to be 2 centimeters. Okay. Let's look at the next question. 2.2 says, okay, just put this here. .2.2 says, write down the size of POQ. POQ. So that angle is 90. POQ is equal to 90 degrees. Why? Because diagonals perpendicular in kite. There are three shapes where the diagonals are perpendicular. What are the three? Kite, square. Well done, yes. Not everybody at once. Rhombus. Okay, doesn't sound like you guys are ready for exam. The diagonals of a rhombus. The diagonals of a kite are perpendicular. Then in the question 3 it says, write down the size of QPS. So QPS is the whole angle here. Not so. But first we need to know that QPR is equal to 20. Why? Because one diagonal must be a diagonal bisect the other in a kite. Okay, here must take a calculator waiting. Alright, so therefore QPS is equal to 40 degrees. No reason required. Okay. What would have gone straight into QPS is equal to 40 degrees, one diagonal bisect the other in a kite, and we know it is implied that that angle is 20. Okay, but we just normally go through it systematically. Okay. Let's go to question 3. Question 3, we are told that in triangle ABC, we are told that AF is parallel to B. If that's the case, then Z is 80. Why? Corresponding. And many other things can be concluded here at that point, for those lines being parallel. Then we are told that calculate with reason the size of all the angles indicated by small letters here, or lowercase letters. Okay, so where can we start? Okay, we now already seen what Z was. So we say Z is equal to 80 degrees. Why? Because we said it was corresponding angles with FA being parallel to BE. Okay, so that's 80. Sorry, Q is equal to 100 Y. Angles on a straight line. What else can we calculate? Sorry? 8x is equal to 80 plus 4x. Why? Exterior angle of triangle. Can you see that, people? say 8x is equal to 80 plus 4x. It's exterior angle of triangle, and it's triangle CBE. So 4x is equal to 80. So x is 20. Okay. Now what? We can calculate y. We know that y plus 8x. So it's 8 times 20 is equal to 180. Y? Straight line. So y is equal to 180 minus 160. No? Which is 40 degrees. Is that correct? Right. 20. And why do you not say is it right? You say yes. Okay. Question 3.2. In the diagram below, A, B, C, D, which is a rhombus. People, if it's a rhombus, 6 properties come to mind. What comes to mind? Opposite sides are parallel. It's on the diagram. Opposite angles are equal. Next one. What? Diagonals are perpendicular. Next one. All sides are equal. Next one. Diagonals bisect each other, yes. Last one. Diagonals bisect this vertex angle. Okay. So by just telling us that it's a rhombus, all these things should pop in our head. Okay, come through. So it is given that BD is 24 and AB is 30. So BD is 24 and AB is 30. Alright. Prove that AC is 10. You need to prove that AC is 10. But by looking at this, what do we notice? What do we notice? We know that we can use Pythagoras somewhere, not so. So firstly, we need to say that that angle is 90 degrees. Because Pythagoras can only be applied in a right angle triangle. So we firstly say that AOB is equal to 90 degrees. Why? Because it's diagonals are perpendicular in a rhombus. Okay. Then we know that BO is 12 centimeters. So BO or OB is 12 centimeters. Why? Because the diagonals bisect each other in a rhombus. Diagonals bisect each other in a rhombus. So you see, I can apply the theorem of Pythagoras here now to calculate OA. Can you see that? So what do I say? OA squared is equal to 13 squared minus 12 squared. Reason? Pythagoras with AOB equals 90 degrees. So that gives us 169 minus 144 is going to give you 25. So what do I do thereafter? I take the square root, it gives me 5 centimeters. But we know that OC is also going to be 5 centimeters. Why? Diagonals bisect each other in a rhombus. So therefore, AC is equal to 10 centimeters. And the reason here is diagonals bisect in a rhombus. Alright? And there's a good couple of 4 marks in for the sum here. How many marks did they give you? 5 marks. People, that's only if you want it, no? And most of us don't want it. No? Why? Because you guys have better things to do with your time. No? TikTok and all that. You say, don't TikTok anymore. Or any less. Right? People, you guys understand? Let's carry on. As if that's the least of our concerns. We are told that the following diagram below, QPR is 40 degrees, QRP is 60 degrees, and QR is 40. That's 3.3. No? Find the value of this question. The question says, calculate the value of X and Y. People, what do you notice here? Midpoint theorem can apply. Why? Because we've got 2 midpoints being joined. If that is the case, if two midpoints of a triangle, 2 sides as midpoints of a triangle are joined, then it will divide the one side to the third. The third side will divide it by half, by that line that is being added in. And the fact that that line will be parallel to the third side. Okay. I can't get the theorem exactly into words in my head here. But we know if that is equal, so we know that PQ is equal to QS. Why? It was given to us. At midpoint, it was given. Then PR is equal to RT. Okay, it sounds like none of you did the work or even looked at the memo. Nice, I like it. Makes my marking easy. X is equal to 2 times 14, which is 28. Why? The midpoint theorem. Alright. That is 28. Then Y, though this angle and that angle is the same because that is parallel here, not so. So let's go with that quickly. Let's change the color, we're calculating Y. We firstly need to say that QR is parallel to ST. Why? Because of the midpoint theorem. Alright, so that is parallel. Now we know that PQR is Y. QPR is Y because of corresponding angles, with QR being parallel to ST. Now we know that Y plus 40 plus 60 is equal to 180. Why? The sum of triangles, this triangle, PQR. So Y is equal to 80. Okay. Question 4.1. In the diagram below, we are told that ABCD is a right angle at B. So angle C, sine C, sine is opposite, which is AB, of hypotenuse, which is AC. Then, what is going to be AB? Angle A. Now they're referring to angle A. It's AB, which is adjacent, over BC, which is opposite. Which trigonometric function uses opposite and adjacent? Tan. But tan is opposite of adjacent. Here we have adjacent over opposite, which is cot. Okay. Next, 4.2. We are told that in the diagram below, P is 4 and 3. And it's given that theta is greater than 0 but less than 90. Answer the following questions without the use of a calculator. I want to know the length of OP. So how do you calculate the length of OP? Pythagoras. Remember that's an x and a y, so it's going to be 4 and 3. So it's going to be OP squared is equal to 3 squared plus 4 squared. The reason is Pythagoras there. So it's 25, so OP works out to be 5. Okay. Then, in number 2a, they want you to calculate sine of theta. Sine of theta, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Okay. And they want to know what is cot of theta. Cot is B. Cot is opposite, tan is opposite of adjacent, so it's going to be adjacent over opposite. So my adjacent to theta is going to be 4, and my opposite is going to be 3. And then C says sine square theta plus cos square theta. So sine is going to be opposite over hypotenuse, so it's 3 over 5 squared plus cos is adjacent, which is 4 over hypotenuse, which is 5 squared. Okay? So it's going to be 9 over 25 plus 16 out of 25, which is 25 over 25, which is 1. Okay? Question 5, it says, use a calculator to find the value of the following correct to 2 decimal places. So we put on a calculator 3 sine 138.7 gives us 2 decimal places. So it gives us 1,98. Okay, 1,98. Then sec is, there's no sec button, so we know that it's 1 over. Sec is 1 over cos. 1 over cos of 50 gives us 1,56. Alright. Last one we have tan 4 tan squared, so it's 4 open brackets tan 288.2 close brackets squared times cos 164.6. Okay, that's over sine 199.4. Gives us 107. Is that correct? 107 point. Just check if that's correct. 4. You put 4 or 4? Yeah. Okay. .2.1. We are told determine how to use the calculator the value. Now here we have to use that special angles. Not so. So that's going to give you 90. That's going to be 30, 60. 1, 2, root 3. This is 45. So it's 1, 1, root 2. And the other one that's not a triangle but works for what we're looking at. So that is 0. That's 90 and 90, so that's 0, 1. Make it a habit of when this question comes up, you draw this triangle. So cos of 30, cos is adjacent, which is the root of 3 over 2. Now tan of 60, tan is opposite over adjacent, so it's root 3 over 1. The LCM of course is 2, so it's root 3 plus 2 root 3, which is 3 root 3 over 2. Okay. The next question. sine 45. So sine is opposite of hypotenuse, it's 1 over root 2. Divided by cos of 45. So cos is adjacent of hypotenuse. So 1 over root 2 minus 5 cosec is the reciprocal of sine. So sine is opposite of hypotenuse. There's going to be a hypotenuse, which is 1 over opposite, which is 1, plus 3 tan of 30. Tan is opposite over adjacent, so it's 1 over root 3 squared. Okay. So that now simplifies into 1 over root 2 and 1 over root 2 gives you 1 minus 5 times 1 is 5 plus 3 times 1 squared is 1, the square root of 3 squared is 3. That cancels, leaves you at 1 minus 5 plus 1, which is negative. Okay. .3, it says determine the value of, by using the calculator, suppose it be theta, if theta is greater than or equal to 0 but less than or equal to 90, which you mean to say is in the first quadrant. So 5.3.1, theta is equal to, of course, arctan of 4,96. Okay. So arctan of 4.96, it gives us 78.6. Okay. 5.3.2, we have 2 sine 2 theta minus 10 is equal to 1. Okay, it doesn't say how many decimal places, so I actually had to work to 2 decimal places. Okay, it doesn't make a difference. Okay, this one here. Can I take this 10 degrees over the equal sign? No. Let's first divide by 2. By dividing by 2, I get sine 2 theta minus 10 is equal to half. Can I now take a 10 over? No. You must go arc sine. So 2 theta minus 10 is equal to arc sine of half. Arc sine of half is 30 degrees. Now we can take a 10 over. So 2 theta is equal to 40 degrees. Divide by 2. Theta is 20 degrees. Okay. Question 6. It says if f of x is equal to 2 sine x and g of x is equal to cos x plus 1. For both graphs and same draw both graphs on the same system of axis. The answer sheet provided. With the diagram sheet would have looked like this. It's 360. It is halfway is 180, halfway is 90, halfway is 270. It shifts 2 years, and then there would have been lines across like that. I don't know if I scanned that in as well. Okay. But this was the thing the year before we actually used. Do we have an answer book for this one? Huh? No. I think the year, at the end of this year we actually started using the answer books. Okay. And getting you into familiarize yourself with the answer books. Because in grade 12 you're going to get the answer book. So you're making yourself familiar and how you actually use it. Okay, so firstly, the sine graph, sine starts at 0, maximum is 2, so that's 90 and 2, 0 to 70, and minus 2, and that's 1. Okay, so what you do is you put in a calculator 2 sine 0, 2 sine 90, 2 sine 180, and so on. You get the corresponding y values as I got it here. And I'm sure most of you can draw this without using a calculator at this point. So that is your f graph. Then your g of x graph is a cos graph shifted 1 unit up. Okay, so that is 360 and 2. That's 180 is on the graph, 90 and 1 would have been the graph. It basically goes through that point. And this is your g of x graph. Okay, very important to write in your turning points the name of the graph and the end points if it's not on the axis there. The next question we are then asked Use your graph to answer the following question. What's the amplitude of G? So the amplitude here of G is 1. You can see from the neutral to the maximum is 1. Or the middle to the maximum is 1. So the amplitude is 1. Determine the period of F. Now period is the time taken to complete one full cycle. On both these graphs, the G of x and f of x is 360. When does it change? For the tan graph. And the period on the tan graph is 180. Determine the range of G. What is the range? The range is all possible y values. So if you look here, the range of G. So the G is going from 2 till 0. Can you see that? The graph is lying between these values here. So your range is all possible y value. So what's the range of this graph? Y must be greater than or equal to 0, but less than or equal to 2. And that brings us to the end of our paper 2, as well as my part for the revision for your final exam. Okay. It's been a long year. Okay. Just remember, next year will be a bit longer. Okay, because in my view, the grade 11 syllabus is the biggest. Okay. But it's manageable, but it's the biggest. It's the most work. Okay. And your grade 12 paper, I think, is like 40%, 45% of grade 11. So you pull it through grade 11, you must pass grade 12. Okay? Alhamdulillah.